Today we're talking about perimenopause and how it's not just your hormone. Now, if you are a mom in your 30s or 40s, this is for you. The hormones do matter. They do matter. Stress matters more. How you process stress directly affects your hormones. So you can get hormone supplements, hormone injections all day long, but your body is holding on to unprocessed stress that you have experienced in your childhood, in your motherhood, in your adolescence, in your life. All this stress that you have pushed deep down and survived through, your body has protected you through. All of that is now housed in your body. So you can do therapy, you can do hormone replacement, you can do all of the above, and still, when chaos hits, react the same way you've always reacted, the same way that you don't want to react anymore. We are going to find out why and how to change it. As your estrogen and progesterone levels fluctuate, so these hormones regulate your mood, your stress response, your ability to rest, your sleep. We're talking pregnant-size hormonal changes here. So think when you're pregnant, you know, hormonal craziness, well, you experience that as you hit your late 30s and early 40s as well, because your hormones are now changing. And as your hormones are changing, the ways that you used to process your stress before, they don't work anymore. You find yourself snapping at your kids over little things. Like we were out doing fireworks, right? It was 10 p.m. We were about to have a pool party with 30 people coming, right? 30 people coming the next day, pool party, bare feet, walking through the kitchen to use the bathroom. So he reaches in for a little snack before bed, right? He spills an entire jar of olives. Shards of glass everywhere, all over the floor, wet olive juice everywhere. And we're having 30 people over, barefoot, pool party the next morning at 11 a.m. Before me would have exploded. Exploded. Oh my gosh. I felt it coming. I felt the habitual reaction coming. But I was able to stop, take my breath, use my self-regulation tools that I've been not only learning about, but practicing in real life situations. Take my breath, and I asked him to just go upstairs. And he's like, oh, I'm hungry. You know, the backlash. Take another breath. Just please go upstairs. The night is done. I need to clean up this mess. You know, usually, clean up your own mess. You make the mistake, clean up your own mess. But these were glass shards everywhere, and I didn't want him messing with it. I had already got cut just from the drop. Oh yeah, that's another thing. My foot is actively dripping blood. That situation would have just ruined everything for me. I would have just stressed out about the party more, stressed out about everything. But I was calm. I asked for some help from my adult daughter. She still lives with me. So I elicited help from her, and we got it done, and we got it handled, and we had the party, and everything went great. Nobody got cut, no glass shards. I had help because I asked for help. That is another thing that was very hard for me to do before, asking for help. Because A, asking for help meant I was vulnerable. B, usually I would be like, well, the help will come, but with stipulations. And C, the help just won't be done to my standards. I mean, that is a thought that I really had, because if, like, what is that saying? If you want something done right, you better do it yourself, right? Well, that was my motto. I'm a Virgo, and I'm a very perfectionist. I am a single mom running a business, and so, I'm always on top of things. And that was really hard for me to delegate things. And my daughter helped, and I trusted her, and she did a great, phenomenal job. She went over it 3 times. I had confidence in her, and that confidence gave her the ability and the capacity to do a great job, something that I was proud of, something that she was proud of. So everything worked out. So these fluctuating hormones that we just discussed can cause oversensitivity, over-anxiety, over-worrying, overwhelm. Right now, do you even want to go to the grocery store? I know I don't. Because, oh my gosh, I would rather just order online, have it delivered to my door, and not deal with the people, because the anxiety is just over the top, right? When I was younger, When I was younger, I used to go to raves with strangers, hop in their cars and drive 2 hours to a rave that's all night, right? I come home at 7 a.m. and I didn't know any of these people. And I was okay with it. It was fun. It was fine. Now, I have trouble going to Walmart because the people, the crowds, the fluorescent lights, the noise, everything about it. And now with the grocery prices, it's a double whammy to my nervous system. So then I use my tool. So now what I do is I step into my protective bubble. I have it purple, it's my purple bubble. I literally step into it and I zip it up and I wear this shield before I go grocery shopping. And so I didn't have to do that before. But now, as I'm 42, I use these tools and they help my life immensely because now I used to walk out of Walmart and I would be so frazzled. My kid's dad, we were together at the time, he would notice it. He'd be like, oh my God, every time you come home from Walmart, you are mad, you are angry, you are frustrated, you are just mean. And and so I noticed it and I did something about it, and now I can go to Walmart. I don't like it. I'd rather not. I do the things like I do the drive up, they deliver my groceries to my car. I ordered online. I do that a lot. But when I do have to go in, this is what I do. I use this tool and it works. It works so well. And what about this one? You're worried about your kid taking out the trash at night. Just walking to the curb. When you used to go to the mall when you were 11, 12 years old with like a group of your friends, loiter out in the front of the mall and just walk. Sometimes I would walk 2 miles to my friend's house because my mom wouldn't give me a ride. Nobody would give me a ride, right? So I would just be walking, 12 years old, 2 miles on the street and everything would be fine. Now, I don't want my kid to go out to the trash. My kid doesn't want to go out to the trash without me watching. So it's different. You're different now than you were before. And so you need different tools now than you did before. The irritability, right? The irritability. Oh my gosh. I get so irritable, especially when it's time for my period. Especially, I'm in perimenopause. So when my period comes, it affects me. Like, I never got diagnosed with PMDD, but I'm pretty sure I have it. I would get really dark thoughts. Like really dark thoughts. And the only thing that would take me through is that I had to be here for my kids because my kids needed a mom who was there and I had to. It was a have to. I had to show up. And that's literally what got me through until all of these other tools that I use. Now I don't even go there. I don't even go to this dark place because before I even get there, I use my tools. I use my regulation tools. I know them, and I don't just know them, but I have practiced them in real life so that I don't have to remember something or, use effort in, oh, what was that again? Putting it into effect. It's just a habit. So I don't even go down that spiral anymore, and it feels so good. Overreacting at the slightest inconvenience. This goes back to the olive jar. I mean, that wasn't a slight inconvenience, but I mean, seriously, if my zipper isn't working on my jacket, you just want to break it and rip it off, right? Hypervigilance. Who here has experienced the hypervigilance? Who here wants help desperately, but doesn't trust the help? So you need to delegate these things to your kids, right? You need to, have them do the dishes. But you're terrified that you're going to see little spots on the dishes, spots of food that hasn't been cleaned all the way. So you might as well just do it yourself because you're going to have to go over it and do it anyway, right? What's another thing that I would do? Cleaning the rooms. That is now their responsibility. It once was not done good enough for my standards. So you know what that does? That puts more work on me. Also, it makes my kids feel bad because it makes them feel like they can't do it. They can't cut it. They can't do a good enough job, which is not the thing that I wanted to convey to my children. That's not the voice that I want to them to have in their head, which they will if I continue down this path. I didn't want to continue down that path. So what I started doing is I started using my tools. Okay, so like doing the dishes, my 7-year-old, she just turned 7. We just had a pool party for her. This is the pool party with the olives, the shards of glass everywhere. So she just turned 7, and she has now started doing the dishes. And so her brother, who's 11, he washes the dishes, and she can wash the dishes, and so she does wash the dishes that are, don't need scrubbing or are easy to wash. But her job is now drying the dishes and putting them away. So now my son doesn't feel like he's the only one that does the dishes. I don't feel like, oh my God, I have to do the dishes all the time because my son's the only other one that does the dishes. And they're a team, and they enjoy doing it together, and they feel good about themselves. They feel, my son is teaching my 7-year-old how to properly clean a dish. And here I am supervising the background, right? But I hear them communicating, and he feels good about himself because, he's doing the teaching, because he knows something that she doesn't know, and that's making him feel good because, he feels big, and he feels like he can do some good and teach her something that she doesn't know that will benefit the household. So these little tools don't just affect you and your nervous system, but they also affect your family. Not being able to rest until the task is done. Until the tasks spawned from that task are also done. But it never ends, right? There are always tasks to complete. As a mother, there are always tasks to complete, especially if you are, running your household, if you are working, if you are doing everything all on your own. There's always something to do. So I have learned to use my tools. And a tool that I have used is to make a list, make a check-off list, right? So everything that I have to do, I make the list. And I choose what I'm going to do next on that list. Okay, what feels possible to do right now? What do I feel capable of doing right now of this list? Also, when I think of things that still need to be done, I write it down on the list. That way, I don't have to harbor it up in my head. I get it out and I get it on paper, and I don't have to think about it anymore. It's one less thing on my plate and in my brain to think about. Then when I feel ready to complete a task, that mere check mark on that list gives me so much inspiration. It's a snowballing effect. It gives you momentum to keep going, and you get this dopamine hit, and it feels great. And so you want to do more, and so you keep doing more. I also schedule time to rest. So I'm like, okay, I can see, oh my God, I've done a lot of things. I've done A, B, C, and D. I've done a lot today. I have made progress. I have been super productive. I feel good about it. I can stop and I can do something that is for me. I can rest. I can have fun with my kids. I can do something that I want to do because it's not all swimming in my head, and I'm not constantly thinking of things to do because I see it on paper and I see what I have accomplished, and I feel good about that. So I have the confidence that I can rest and still have gotten things accomplished, still have things under control, still have my ducks in a row, and now I can enjoy them. Let's see, the rage. Who experiences rage? Oh my gosh. This goes back to what we discussed before with the all list. Everything's connected, guys. Everything is connected. Again, the hormones. The hormones are not just the only thing. The stress is affecting the hormones. It's affecting the reactions. It's affecting all of this. It's all connected. Who has experienced this, right? Let me set the background. The kids are on summer vacation. You are working from home or just at home on a weekend. The kids are screaming. You have read the same line that you're trying to read 30 times, and you can't process it because you hear everything else. You hear them screaming, you hear them fighting. You're trying to hear what they're screaming about because you're trying to see if they're fun screaming or if you need to get involved, right? This makes it impossible to do what you need to do. Your ears get hot. Your neck gets sticky. You get the steam rising. Your face starts frowning. You feel this rage building up inside of you, and you are about to explode. You need your noise-canceling headphones, or you need the kids to go outside. You need them to just be silent for an hour so that you can get some stuff done, right? Who Who's been there? I know I have. And I literally had to go buy some noise canceling headphones. And that tells my kids, hey, when mom has the headphones on, that means don't be noisy. That means don't come up and ask her what she's doing. That means don't, X, Y, Z. That gives me a boundary, a healthy boundary, because I don't have to sit here and scream at my kids because I didn't have my boundary and I didn't have my needs met. My kids can see a visual cue of my headphones and, okay, mom does not have capacity right now. Let's go do something. And I've also given them a checklist of things to do. So if they don't know, if they're confused, so I have a tentative schedule, right? So I write down, okay, if it's this time in the morning, then do this. If it's this time in the morning, do this. Now, it's not a hardcore schedule. I need to do this, otherwise I fail. No, that's not what it is. This is a tentative schedule. So if I'm feeling that rage bubble up inside me and I don't want to let it out on my kids and freak out on them, I go to my list. Oh, it is 10 a.m. Let me look at what our schedule says for 10 a.m. Oh, it's independent reading time. Or, oh, it's time to play outside. Oh, it's time to do a board game. So I have some direction. And I don't have to sit here and rack my brain to think about it. And I don't have to get frustrated with having to think about stuff to entertain my kids. And not only that, they feel confident and capable because they are not having to depend on me to know what to do next. They are taking charge of their own entertainment. They're taking charge of their own... Be careful. Don't swing there because you're kicking this and this all might fall and break, okay? They are taking... Yeah. You're doing the same exact thing I just asked you not to do. Thank you. They're doing the same thing. And see, here we go. And then now the pot is lost. And this is exactly, so my headphones, that's what prevents all this from happening. But even now, I'm not getting frustrated. I don't feel like, I feel kind of bobble-headed, but it's different than what it used to be because I'm using my regulation tools before I go there, before I spiral down, before I crash out. It's really great. And I don't have to okay, now I need you to go inside, please. Thank you. I'll be in just a moment. No. Ma'am? Come on. Why don't you turn on the TV for the tools? The cleaning robot. Who here has felt like a cleaning robot? Me. Oh my God, I feel like a robot. I feel like I'm just constantly cleaning. I do the dish, I turn around to do something else, and there's more dishes in the sink. I do the load of laundry, I fold them, I turn around and do something else, and there's more laundry to be washed and folded. I clean the bathroom, turn around and do something else. There's more toothpaste on the sink. There's more splatters on the mirror. It's like never ending. I'm just a never ending managing robot. Has anybody else felt like that? I have. A lot. And that's why I made this program. Because I got tired of feeling like that. I got tired of living my life like that. Like, I'm in my 40s. I've built this beautiful life. And I really got tired of being overwhelmed by the mechanics of it. So here we are. If one more person in my house makes me redo something that I have just done, I'm going to scream. I'm going to crash out. Like, I feel like I have wiped this crummy counter about 6 times this morning, and it's only 10 o'clock in the morning. Like, come on, people. Like, am I the only one that is trying to keep our place not a pigsty? Am I the only one that does not want to live in trash? It's very frustrating. It's very overwhelming, especially when, you don't have a lot of energy. You don't have a lot of time. It takes that time and energy to do the cleaning, to wipe the counters, to keep the house looking nice. And then you have 3 beings in the house who go around and leave a trail. You know what each kid has done throughout the day because of the trail that they've left. Oh, that's so-and-so's. He did this today, and then he went here. It's like a detective learning, oh, okay, let me recreate this story from the signs. And that is how my house felt like. Because each child had their own signature trail after I have just cleaned and then cleaned again and then cleaned again. And then I have all this other stuff to do too. right? It's a vicious cycle, and the way to stop repeating that cycle is to learn new processes, because the things that you used to do in your 20s and your 30s, in your early 30s, are starting to build up, because in your 20s, in your 30s, you didn't have everything that you have now in your 40s. You didn't have the house. You didn't have the growing kids. You know, yeah, they may have been babies, or you didn't have them at all, but now you have more of them, and they're bigger, with bigger problems, they're louder, they're more expensive, and you have, you know, your career has blossomed. You're doing things now that you didn't do before, and so it's too much. And on top of that, your hormones are changing because you're getting older, and your hormones are adjusting because you're now in perimenopause. And so now everything has just piled on your plate. And you take a look back at your life, and you didn't even know that you were piling your plate. It's like Thanksgiving. You didn't know that you were piling your plate so high until you get, it's like, ooh, this looks good. Ooh, this looks good. Ooh, this looks good. You get halfway and your plate is already full, and then you start making another layer. Oh my God. And then by the end of it, you're like, oh my God, how did I get here? And this is a woman's life in perimenopause. So we need different tools. We can't do the same things that we used to do, because what we used to do, we didn't have all this to do. We didn't have all these circumstances, the environment, the inside happenings going on. We didn't have all that. Now we do. So now we need different tools. We need a toolbox, and we don't just need something, oh, do your breath work, do your breath exercises, oh, get your hormones changed, because guess what? So all those stress responses were your body's way of protecting yourself. And so now it's like, oh my God, I've been protecting myself for so long, and you just keep piling on more and piling on more. I can't do it anymore. And that's why you are getting the mood swings, the rage episodes, the hot flashes even, you know, the hormonal changes, because stress and hormones are directly correlated. They affect each other. It's not like one does this to this, one does this to this, and this one does this to this. It's a cycle. So they do it to each other, and it's ongoing over and over and over again. So you need to stop the cycle. You need to tell those emotional traumas that you weren't properly processing, are now like stored in your cells, in your body, in your tissues, and they are affecting you. They are affecting your emotions. They are affecting your physical comfort in your body. They're affecting your gut. So you have digestion problems. Things that you used to be able to eat, you can't eat anymore. And it's not just because you're getting older. It's because of the stress. It's because of the hormone changes, which causes the stress, which causes the hormone changes, which causes the stress. And it's a vicious cycle. So we're going to have to adjust our life. Not necessarily our life. We have our beautiful life. We're going to have to adjust our processing stress style to accommodate our life, because we love our life. We work so hard to get our life here where it's at right now. We just want to enjoy it. We don't want to feel like we have to manage it. We don't want to feel stressed out by it all the time. We don't want to feel like, ooh, maybe I did too much. Maybe I didn't know what I was thinking. Maybe I, like, I don't even know what I did to myself, and now I'm here, and I look around and I have so much on my plate, and I'm so stressed, and I don't know how to handle it. And that's why I'm here, because I was this way, and I have PCOS. I had my face broke out when I was 30, total cystic acne, it was triggered by stress, which stress triggered my hormone changes more. And so again, vicious cycle. This is before perimenopause. Now I'm at perimenopause, and so I'm really utilizing these tools to get me through, and it's working. The brain fog, you guys. Who has the brain fog? Me. You know what I've been doing lately? So not only just the walking into the room, forgetting why I'm there, opening my phone for a purpose, and then finding myself 20 minutes later scrolling and not having done the thing that I was supposed to do, and forgetting completely why I even opened my phone in the first place. I have been showing up to appointments at a different time. I get the day right, but for some reason, I even have it written down on my calendar as a time when it's not that time. Like, I'll show up and I'm an hour late, or I'll show up and I'm an hour early. This happened consistently, and I noticed a pattern. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on right now? I need to do something, because my nervous system is making my brain mush, like literally, because I can't remember shit. And it's not only remembering, it's like I'm literally writing it down on the calendar wrong. What is wrong with me? You have no memory of something from childhood until somebody like triggers something, like says something about an event or plays a song or says, oh my gosh, do you remember this? And then it all comes flooding back. And that has also been happening to me in my 40s. All these memories just keep flooding back. Like I'm reliving my childhood again. Like my life is literally flashing before my eyes. And so I'm having to process all this stuff that I didn't process before. And it's quite overwhelming sometimes. Sometimes it's fun. I laugh and smile and nostalgia tear happens. But sometimes it's a little disturbing. I'm like, ooh, what really was going on there? And so all these things are starting to flood in at 42 years old. And it's causing my brain to kind of be cloudy, I guess is the word for it. Be kind of in the clouds, lightheaded. Like reality is kind of like, feels like I'm kind of watching myself from afar. Does anybody else feel like that ever? I do. I did. I still do sometimes. But I use my tools so I don't spiral. Who's experienced this one? Super quick at processing. You used to be, right? But now you're sitting watching a family movie and your kid has the remote. And they are flipping through these movies. You can't even see what is coming up. It's flip, flip, flip. It's like, how are you even seeing the titles, let alone seeing the descriptions, and then deciding if you want to watch it or not? How is this happening? Like, all I see is flip, flip. It's making my head spin. It's making my stomach turn like I'm doing circles. Like, oh my gosh, slow down, slow down. It's teaching me that maybe I need some nervous system relaxation work. And it's teaching them that maybe even though they can go at super speed, maybe they shouldn't. Maybe they should just slow down and process. And then maybe when they're 40, they won't end up here like me, where I was at. Feeling touched out. Who here feels touched out? I love my kids, but when I have been touched and hugged and climbed on and sat on and dirty hands in my face giving me love, but still, oh my gosh, you know, and then if I'm going through something, I get hurt or, you know, stub my toe, and then I have a kid hovering over me, they're concerned, but they're still in my space. It's very overstimulating, to say the least. Then, so, you know, you're there for your kids and you don't want to be like, hey kid, stop, you know, stop touching me. So then what you do is you get overstimulated, and then at nighttime your partner wants to cuddle, touch, get loved on too, because they're a person too and they're your partner too, and they were here first before the kids, right? And then you get skin crawly. Your skin crawls, not because you don't love your partner, not because you're not attracted to your partner, not because you don't want to cuddle with your partner, but you are just so touched out that you cannot fathom one more thing being 2 inches from your skin because you are just done. And you don't want to feel like that anymore. You don't like the way that makes your partner feel. You don't like the way that makes you feel. It's causing trouble in your marriage or your relationship or whatever partner thing that you got going on. He has no idea what you're going through because he's not a woman, he's not a mother, and he's not in perimenopause. You don't have to feel this way at night when it's cuddle time with your partner. You guys can cherish that time, and that can be something to refill your battery, refill your cup, recharge your battery instead of draining it further. Why moms feel it more than anybody else. The constant caregiving. You have been caregiving since your baby was born. Since before your baby was born. You are literally sustaining their life, and not just sustaining their life, but growing their life with your own body, with your energy, with your nutrients, with your literal physical body. You have been giving yourself to your child since they were conceived. No wonder you're stressed out. No wonder you're touched out. No wonder your nervous system has been living in fight or flight for God knows how many years. Then you add to it the partner, the plants, the pets, the house, the deciding what everybody's going to eat tonight for dinner. It's stressful being a mom. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of selfless work. And then we put ourselves on the back burner because we don't want our family to suffer. Because, you know, that is our duty. That is our job. You know, that is our identity as mother and wife and, you know, mother, head of the household, if you don't have a partner, you know, it is, you know, hard. You know, it's hard with a partner, it's hard without a partner. Choose your heart. The decision fatigue is real, you guys, and nobody thinks about it. The husband doesn't think about it. The kids don't think about it. The pets don't think about it. You know, everybody doesn't think. They just know that they're getting fed. They're hungry, and mom is going to magically put this delicious, nutritious meal in front of them. Even if it's not delicious and nutritious, their tummies are going to get fed, and they don't have to worry about it, right? You, mom, have to worry about what they're going to eat. Is this nutritious? Is this good? Well, this kid and this kid who's picky and doesn't eat anything, eat it. What am I going to have to make in addition to this meal, because my youngest won't touch anything that's not brown and plain? The financials of it. Oh my gosh, what am I going to feed my family that is financially sustainable for my life and for my household? Food is so expensive these days. Oh my God. I was just talking with my daughter, and she's like, Mom, she went to McDonald's before work to get a McGriddle and a hash brown, right? She goes, Mom, it was $8. It used to be like $2. What is going on? And I was telling her the story of groceries. I used to fill up my cart, mountain of groceries. I would be like trucking it, just like pushing with all my might this cart. It would be like barely $300, right? I thought it would be high, like $280, $250. Like, ouch, right? All this food. Now, my cart is like a fourth of that, and it's pushing $300. It's tough. Have you guys noticed that they don't have, remember they used to have just the big carts? They don't have that anymore. They do have big carts, but more so they have those little mini carts with the 2 shelves, right? Because people can't buy the groceries they once used to because the prices have gotten so much. And you as mom have to think about all of this every single day for every single meal for 5 people and 3 pets. Nobody else even realizes it, and that's another stressor, because oh my God, you're doing all this and you don't even get appreciated for it because nobody even realizes that this is what's going on for you. So being a mom is tough. The mental load. Who here is the CEO, mediator, the event planner, appointment maker, organizer of every single person in your family, in your household? Your family doesn't realize this load. They don't have to do this. They don't understand, and it's not because they're being mean or selfish or, you know, spoiled. It's because they don't understand what it's like because they have not experienced it. And then you were like, oh my God, you're so ungrateful because I do all this stuff and you don't even realize it. But how can they realize it? Because they haven't done it. They don't know. And you know, as you know, a woman in her 40s or late 30s, or however old you are, midlife, you know, because you've experienced it. Like you had no clue about things, and you've experienced them, and oh my God, that's how you got so much wisdom, because now you know. And so you feel resentful, and it is fair that you feel resentful. You are fully validated in that feeling. But you know, everybody's validated in their perspective. So that's why we use our tools. I've been living in fight or flight actually before then, because guess what? In my early adulthood, I didn't really have much of an early adulthood because I was 20 when I had my first. I was born in '83, so a lot of us 80s babies, we know, we didn't really have guidance. We kind of just were thrown to the wolves and winged it for our whole childhood and adolescence. And it was stressful. We carry those traumas now that are now showing their heads because we have all this other stuff going on, and our nervous system is burnt out and kaput. And so now, you know, we are harboring all those things, and now it's coming out from childhood. From, I don't know about y'all, but I was 9 years old babysitting for a full day while my parents were working from 8 to 5, twin newborn babies. Okay, and then that was my dad's side. And on my mom's side, I was same age, I was like 10, babysitting a year-old, 13-month-old, and newborn. While my parents were at work, I was with babies all day long at 9 years old. A lot of my peers were doing the same exact thing. So we have a lot of trauma in our bodies, girls. We have a lot of trauma that we have just been harboring, that is just sitting there waiting to show its ugly head as soon as our nervous system slacks, and it is slacking because it has been overwhelmed for so long. This is why we're reacting this way. This is why our hormones are going whack-a-woo, and this is why our minds and our sanity is going whack-a-woo. Perimenopause does not create the stress you are experiencing. Perimenopause is not creating the stress that you are experiencing. It is only shining a light on it. It is letting it through. It is weakening your defenses because they used to protect you. So your body knows, ooh, I need to protect this person. I need to protect. So it's going through all these protection things that it used to use before, but now these protection things are starting to rub off on your family. They're starting to affect how you feel about yourself. They're starting to affect the reflection that you see in the mirror. Not just, the shame of, oh my God, I shouldn't have snapped like that. And my child did not deserve that. And now my child feels bad because they feel like they can't do anything. And now I feel bad because I am the one that put this thought in my child's head and made my child feel this way. And the mom guilt is unreal, you guys. It sucks. And not only do you see that when you look in the reflection, but you also see the dark circles down in your chin. The skin that's tense in some spots, but saggy in others. You see the disheveled look. You're not taking care of yourself like you once were because you don't have the energy for it. You're not, maybe you don't do full makeup, but you're not taking the time to put on a cute outfit. I don't wear uncomfortable clothes, but I still like to have them cute. And when I'm overstressed and overwhelmed, I'm not caring about it. I'm throwing on whatever I can see because I don't have the energy to even think about it. I don't have the capacity for it. And guess what you see when you look in the reflection? That's who you see. And then it reiterates the fact that, ooh, I don't want pictures taken. I feel like I'm getting older. I look like I'm getting older, so I feel like I'm getting older. And again, the vicious cycle repeats. Now we talk about somatic practices. What are somatic practices? Working with your body to release that stagnant energy that is stored inside. So breath work with intention. That's one everybody knows, right? Do your breath work. Do your deep inhales. Sometimes breath work is not just about taking a breath. It's about the intention behind the breath. So it's how you take the breath, because if you inhale shorter than you exhale, it automatically affects your vagus nerve that sits right here. You have a vagus nerve that when this vagus nerve is stimulated or activated, your heart rate slows, your breathing slows, your mind slows, everything downshifts immediately. It's like an immediate reaction. It's a reflex when your exhale is longer than your inhale. So it doesn't matter how long this is, but make the exhale 2 seconds longer than the inhale. Do it now, and let's do it together. Ready? Okay, so we're gonna inhale for 6 seconds, and then we're gonna exhale for 8 seconds. Ready? Was it longer than you guys were expecting? I bet it was. I've been doing yoga and breathwork and stuff for years, so if you don't have that capacity, don't beat yourself up, don't get down on yourself, don't think, oh, I can't do that. It takes practice, guys, as with everything. Practice makes perfect. Not even perfect. Practice makes progress. Let's say that. How did you guys feel? Did you feel the shift? Were you able to do it that long? And what kind of thoughts came up when you were doing it? I would really love to know. Grounding. Who here has done grounding exercises? So you are electricity, right? You have energy flowing through your body, and that is why your body, to be frank, your meat suit is animated, because your soul is inside and is running off of some sort of energy, right? Have you seen like the seismic, or I don't know, like when a beat hits and the sand thing and they make shapes and patterns? So your body does this, like when you hear a beat, that's why you want to dance to the beat, because your body, it's the rhythm, it's the electricity, it's the energy in your body flowing with the vibration. Nowadays, we have all this overstimulation, we have all this electricity, we have all this stress, we have everything. Like, I mean, even scrolling on the phone, you have all this like dopamine hits, and so you have all this stimulation coming in, and it doesn't get released, and so it builds up, and it stays there, and it makes this crazy, chaotic feeling in your body, and you don't even realize it because it is just the new normal, right? So grounding, when you like literally use intention and put your bare feet in the grass, in the ground. It literally exchanges ions with the earth. The earth pulls out the crazy chaotic ions. Like, I'm not sure if it's the negative or positive ones. I can't remember which one it was, but I know it's ions. It pulls out the one end of the ions, and you're able to absorb from the ether, from your crown, the good ions. So it's kind of like wringing out a sponge, like an old sponge. You wring it out like this. That's what grounding does. It literally washes it clean out of your body. It's an ion exchange, an energy exchange. Putting yourself back in your body when you get anxiety. Like 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 2 things you can touch, 1 thing you can smell. Feeling the ground with your feet, feeling the support of the ground, feeling, you know, the support on each part of your foot, the heel, the side, the inner arch, the toes, the little padding part, like feeling all that. Feeling this support of the ground is grounding yourself. It's putting yourself back into your body, back into your, out of your head, swarming, and back into somewhere you can feel support. The float moves the energy. So just movement, just walking barefoot in the grass, you're moving the energy. Again, it's the squeezing out. So as your muscles move, they're contracting and they're squeezing on your blood vessels. They're squeezing on the cells. They're squeezing on the lymph. It's literally making the fluids move in your body. And so it's washing your body out, and it gets replenished with fresh, clean fluids, blood, plasma, you know, all of that. Activation. So activation in movement, like just activating exercises, like maybe doing a couple squats and making sure you're using your glutes, or even intentional walking, like instead of, you know, walking on your tiptoes, making it intentionally, making the energy and the weight intentionally move through your heels, because that activates the back of your legs, that activates your glutes, and that makes your back and your muscles that are not meant to support you, or the supporting muscles that are meant to support you end up doing the heavy work when we aren't using our focus a lot of the times, and then it becomes habit. So when we put intention back into using the muscles that are supposed to be strong, like our legs and our glutes, instead of using, you know, the hamstring, or I'm sorry, the quads, and you know, the supporting muscles in the back, instead of using those muscles, we're intentionally using the ones that are meant to be strong. And so it takes pressure off of our body, and we have that relief, we have that release. Body and mental awareness. You're utilizing energy to do with it what you want it to do. So you are aware. Okay, so you get a text from that one person that just boils your blood. It like literally sets your day off. Your heart starts racing, your palms get sweaty, your brain gets foggy, like you can't even focus on what you were just doing. You can't focus on what you had planned to do for the rest of the day, because your mind is here on this text that just came up and that just popped up, right? The awareness part is noticing, like, okay, this person caused this reaction in my body. I'm not going to put energy into that right now, because if I put energy into that, that's just going to continue the spiral. It's going to continue the snowball. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So I'm going to stop and I'm going to pause, and I'm going to notice I'm going to be aware of the reaction that just elicited, the physiological reaction that just elicited in my body. I'm going to be aware of it. I'm going to utilize it for growth. Now this step is, okay, I'm aware of how it made me feel. I'm going to go release that energy right now with either, you know, a long exhale, or I'm going to go take a walk among the trees and put my feet in the grass, or feel the sun on my face, or right now it's raining, so maybe I'll go out and feel the rain on my skin for a little bit, and, you know, just bring myself back to my body to, you know, because right now I'm in my head, I'm spiraling and my body's reacting. So right now, I want to tell my body that it's okay, it's safe. This text message is not life or death. This text message did not just ruin my life. So I remove myself briefly. Now that you have released that energy from this text, you want to be aware of why it has caused this response in you, right? But you don't want to just deep dive into it right now, because you've got shit to do. You just want to put it in a file, or even better, write it down. Oh shoot, this happened. This event happened. This is how my body responded. This is what I did. This is how I feel now. And just leave it at that. And now you've got through these things, and now you're open to the thoughts that will come in and why this happened to you. And so you may be a little more able to do whatever you were just doing. And then 20 minutes later, a thought pops in, like, oh my gosh, this is why I reacted this way, because I feel like I need their approval. And why do I feel like I need their approval? I don't know. Because you know what? If I think about it, if I look at their life, I would not want their life. I would not want to be in their shoes. I would not want to live how they're living. I don't agree with how they're living. I would not want to be this person. So why am I reacting like this? Why is their opinion of me making me feel this way? I don't care. I don't want to be where they're at. So where their opinions have caused them to be where they're at in their life. I don't want to be where they're at in their life. So should I really put that much energy and feeling into what they think of me, or into what they just said about me, or into, you know, how I'm coming off to this person? No, actually, I really don't care, because I don't want to be where they're at. So what they're doing in their life to get them where they're at is not what I want to be doing to get me where I want to be. So that's how you get through that. That's how the next time, you don't even have to block them anymore, because guess what? It's not going to happen immediately. This is going to take practice of, you know, you didn't learn to do a cartwheel your first try, right? So you're going to have to kind of practice this. But eventually you're going to get to where they're going to text you and you're not going to stop and sweat. You're not going to get sweaty palms. Your brain's not going to get fogged up. You're not going to feel that heart race. You're not going to get these physiological reactions, because you know that you don't want to be where they're at. So what they said doesn't even matter. So they can just talk to themselves. It doesn't even deserve a response from you, or just, you know, like the message. You know, then they're going to look back and like, oh, well, that didn't elicit the reaction I expected to. So now I feel stupid. You know, this is them thinking, right? And so now you have the upper hand, because you put yourself first, you put that practice in, you used your tools, and now you can confidently live your life without your nervous system being hijacked by this one little text of somebody that doesn't even matter in this big scheme of things, right? They are not making you money. They are not feeding your kids. They are not in your shoes at all. So, you know what? You are in your shoes and you are proud of how you handle the situation, and you don't even care what they think. So you don't have that physiological reaction in your body anymore. And that's what this work does. This is a big thing, being present in your life. You have built this beautiful life, right? You have built this life with your blood, sweat, and tears. It's took a lot out of you, and you are proud of where you're at. You look around and you're like, oh my gosh, once prayed for. I once sat in bed crying for, like, I wanted with my heart and soul, and I now have it, and it is kind of ruining my life. I mean, you know, it's not, but that's literally the thought that you have, and then you feel guilty for thinking that, because, you know, you once prayed for this, and now you have it, and now you're thinking that this is too much, and you can't handle it, and you wish you just could run away and go homestead in the middle of nowhere, so you don't have any of the stress that your beautiful life that you built has now brought you. This is a survival mode thought. This is a fight or flight thought. You know, you want to fly, you want to take flight and leave, right? You want to be present. You want to be feeding your pets, not thinking, oh my God, another day of making this food, because I don't want to just give them kibble. I want to make it nutritious for them. So now I have all this stuff to do, and now it's another thing that I have to do, another thing on my plate. No, you're feeding the dog thinking, oh my God, I'm so grateful that I know I have the wisdom to not feed my dog this crap all the time, and that I'm actually taking the time and putting the love into making them a nutritious meal every day, because they bring me so much joy. My pets are just, it's so nice to, when I don't want to people anymore, to just sit with my pet, and they'll just sit with me and just love on me, and just, you know, they love me no matter what. I can be this perimenopausal monster and they will still love me. And, you know, and they won't judge me. And this is my beautiful pet, and I am so grateful that I can do this for them, and that, you know, if I didn't have this chore, that would mean that I didn't have this pet, and I am so grateful for having this in my life. And so you kind of change your perspective in that sort of manner, and it helps you get through your chores you stop seeing it as, oh my gosh, another thing on my plate. You start seeing it as, oh my gosh, I am so appreciative. I'm so appreciative to have this in my life, because this is so awesome to have. Okay, so it's summer vacation. Who here is wishing that school would just start up again? Because, oh my gosh, I love my kids. I love spending time with my kids, but sometimes it's just so overwhelming. It's just constantly having someone there. I just want to be alone for a little bit. Just one day of just being alone by myself. And then you get to brace yourself. Like, okay, the kids are waking up. You know, you're peaceful. Your morning's going good. You're in a great mood. And then you hear the pitter-patter down the stairs, and you're like, oh, yay, my babies are up. And then they open their mouths and start to argue and start to be defiant and start to argue with each other and start to fight. And it's like, just go back to bed, please. Who here has felt that? Me, I have. It's a terrible feeling, right? It's like, oh my God, how am I feeling this way about my kids? And then here comes the mom guilt, right? I don't do that anymore. I have created a system for my kids too, and that works with my kids and works with me. What I was talking about earlier with the little checkoff list, the little tentative schedule, what they can do. So they are kept busy, and they, you know, not just kept busy, but doing things that they enjoy doing, and you're not managing it. So you don't feel like you're constantly having someone to manage and someone attached to your hip all the time, because this is something, you know, they're there, and you can enjoy them without them needing you and sucking the energy from you constantly all day long. Now you are waking up and having conversations with them about what they dreamed about. Now you are, you know, having them help you make breakfast because they absolutely love it, and they can scramble the eggs themselves, and it's so exhilarating them to be, you know, by the stove, under your supervision, of course, to, you know, do this, make this creation of this food and feed themselves, and maybe make something for you as well, and be proud of themselves for doing it. And then you're proud, and you guys are having these great interactions together, instead of, you know, the screaming, the resentment, the headbutting all the time. So what this looks like in real life, instead of yelling, shutting down, snapping, dissociating with doom scrolling, emotional eating or not eating because you just don't have the time, because everybody else needs everything from you, and you don't have the time to think about your meal, so you just kind of snack off what your kids are eating or their leftovers, or maybe feed them a nutritious meal and then grab like a granola bar for yourself, and that's 4 p.m. and you've noticed all you've had today is 3 cups of cold iced coffee and a granola bar. Sugar, 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 caffeine, caffeine, caffeine. No wonder your nervous system is like all, right? You know, your blood sugar is crazy because you've had these shots of sugar, these shots of caffeine, you haven't eaten anything, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, no wonder your nervous system is spazzed, because your blood sugar is like a freaking roller coaster all day long, and you're running on empty, not only energy-wise, but nutrition-wise and glucose, sugar-wise. You had the sugar, but you know, the sugar stays just a little bit because you haven't had the protein or the fats to stabilize the sugar, and so then you crash, and then you need more, and you haven't had more, so then your monster comes out. That Snickers commercial, you guys, that I don't know, when they're this monster and they take a bite of the Snickers and then they're themselves again. This is what us moms do to ourselves every day. You think you need more willpower, you think you need another routine, pull through it. It'll be over soon, right, when they turn 18? I mean, these are the thoughts that you have. You think, well, just a couple more years of this and it'll be better. Like, ouch, yikes. It could be better in 3 months. 3 months if you work with me. 3 months. You need more capacity, and that's what I can offer you. I can offer you capacity to process all these stressful things that you're harboring inside your cells that, you know, you can't think your way out of, because they're actually living in your cells, and they have become your reactions to things, because it's just, you don't have the energy to think about it. You need somebody to tell you, do this, do this, do this, do A, B, and C, and then do this, and then did you do this? And then, oh, what happened here? Let's think about why this happened. Okay, let's get back to square one again and make sure we've mastered this. We'll think about what needs to be done and actually put it into place. I needed help. This is why I'm here. I needed help and there's no help. There's nobody there to help me with what I was going through, and I was pulling out my hair. I, had acne, cystic acne breaking out all over my face. I was suffering through kidney stones once a month. I mean, all these things, stress things happening in my body. And I didn't have the help, and so I figured it out. Through blood, sweat, and tears, I figured it out. And I want other women to know that I can help them get out of this proverbial hell. Like, it literally feels like living in hell. And I used to be like, you know what, I think Earth might be hell because I feel like that's what I'm living in right now. But then, some days you're like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. My life is so beautiful. This Earth is so beautiful. And it's just like, you're at two different ends of the spectrums. And so this is why I made this program, so that you can have me hold your hand and see the light at the end of the tunnel and actually go through it and actually get to the other side. When your nervous system is overloaded, even small tasks can feel impossible. Even small tasks can throw you over the edge. Even small inconveniences can make you crash out. You're living in fight or flight, like literally, and you don't have the capacity to be calm. And all your whys are totally valid, because you're just carrying too much. So this is why I'm crashing out. Valid. But let me ask you this: is this who you want to be? Is this the person that you want your kids to see? Is this the person that you want your kids to grow into as parents? Ask yourself that question. Even though you are totally valid, are you going to do something about it? As your capacity grows, your capacity to handle the stress grows, and you don't spaz out, and you don't crash out, and you don't spiral, because you catch yourself before the spiral. And that is the result of the work. I wanted to take this time to invite you to my nervous system recalibration one-on-one coaching container. It's 12 weeks, and you got me to hold your hands. 12 weeks, and each week we go through different things. So the first half of the program is going through like daily appreciation practice in different areas of your life, somatic stretching and somatic movement, working with your energy centers of your body, working with your body awareness and mindful awareness practices, putting all these things into real life integration. And then the second half is putting these things into place. First we learned about it, now we're going to actually do it. We're going to do it in real life circumstances. I have you keep a journal. You're keeping a journal of everything that you're doing, and we are texting on a chat every single day to see what you've done, what's worked, your successes, your challenges. I will give you suggestions. Oh, this happened? Well, why don't we try this tomorrow if the same thing comes up? Then we go on weekly Zooms. Every single week we are on a 30 to 45 minute Zoom call, and we're talking about what happened. You have your journal. We're talking about how your week went, what you did, what you haven't done, everything. And it's not pressure, it is awareness. It's not like, oh, you didn't do this, you need to do this right now, or we're not going to work together anymore. No. It's awareness. What have I done? What do I need work on? Oh, I'm not showing up. Okay. Well, Sarah's been messaging me, and, she's waiting for me to respond, and I'm not like, you. I'm like, here I am. Hello, let's work together. So I'm literally holding your hand, and we are going through everything that we just talked about in this live. We're on it, and we are utilizing our tools to actually enjoy our life, like the reflection that we see in the mirror. Get out of fight or flight mode consistently, constantly living in, oh my God, stress, overwhelm. It's, oh my God, beauty, enjoyment. Now, this is the result that I can get you. If this resonated with you, I would encourage you to send me a DM. You don't even have to discuss anything. You can just say apply, and I will talk to you more about what the program is. You can answer some questions, see if this is a good fit for you, and we can go from there. We can get on a call, and we can discuss, the ins and outs, and what it looks like to work together, and what I expect of you, and what you are expecting of me, and all of the beautiful things. So DM me or comment, apply. We can work together. Sorry guys, it's for women only. I would love to help anyone who has been in the same place I have. If you have related to any of this stuff or all of it, this is exactly what I do, and I would love to help you get from there to where I'm at here today. So thank you for joining me on this pretty long live, and I am so appreciative of all you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this live. I hope my suggestions were helpful, and I hope to see you in my DMs, and I hope to work with you. Bye guys.